Okay, so we basically have almost the full roster for My Hero Academia Wants Justice. I do want to comment on 20 characters, fighting game, odd choices, yara yara, but whenever I do this, it's met with a massive amount of hate in the comment section, and fuck's sake, I'm a dying channel, I don't need that, I want to live the rest of my days in peace. So we're just going to ignore that. Even though, I gotta say that when I did a wish list for this game, I named that there will be at least 20 characters in the game, and I went for this minimum of 20, and it appeared to be so, even though my prediction overall was that there will be at least 25 of them. And I'm not saying that they have deliberately cast aside those 5 characters in order to then sell them as a DLC like all the other fighters do, because it's the trend that they have caught on. Totally not saying that. But if I had to say something dumb and really far from the truth, I would say that. Actually, it's really funny because now that I remember my previous wishlist, I did not guess any of those characters. I mean, I did get Tokoyami and Kirishima right, but Toga, Earphone Jack, I actually said that Earphone Jack would be a horrible choice and that they would put Ashido instead because of the slides. And then there are acid projectiles, and then Toga and Earphone Jack. You would think that, they're a better character to put in this game. But again, not touching the choices. Sorry about that. I did have one excuse though, it's that I could not touch any of the Season 3 characters, because Season 3 was not ongoing back then, and I did not want to spoil people that Dabi or Toga exist at all. But anyway, as you can see, I have filled in all the empty spots with the characters that have been revealed so far. Those are 17 characters, but there are 20 in total. That means that I have filled in 2 more characters on my own. Those are Gran Torino and All For One. The reason for that is because Gran Torino has been revealed in a scan earlier, and there is a specific stage for him, which is a Deku versus Gran Torino fight in the story mode. And I dared to deem this evidence enough to confirm him being in the game. Then All For One is on the cover of the game and in the final trailer that they have released on E3. So if he is not playable in the game, then this is in the category of Nani, what the fuck? Saying that leaves us with a very last empty slot. And I want to try and predict or guess who is going to be, and I encourage comment section to do the same, or let's say the character that will most likely not be there, but the one that you want to see in the game. For me, it's World Boy Lemillion, but he's not gonna be there. It's just my wish. So I suggest let's look at all the facts so far and try and deduce what character will it be. Okay, so there are tons of heroes and only 4 villains, or 5 we count All For One. That makes the last choice most likely to be another villain. Seeing how there is a stage from their training exercise, Deku vs Bakugo, from the Season 1, it means that the story goes from there, or, at least from the very beginning, or really close to it. And that means that we're missing a key moment in the story with All Might versus Nomu, making Nomu a very hard contender for the spot. There also was a screenshot that showcased Nomu's shin guards on Todoroki, if I remember correctly, or at least something that looks very alike it, just recolored. And plus to that, Nomu should have similar moveset to All Might, making it a bit easier to do, and if it's lazier then there is more possibility. So those are my thoughts, but I can be completely wrong. And for instance, the story goes from UA Festival after Nomu's, and we completely skip that. Then it opens up possibilities for it to be literally anyone, because, there are way too many important villains in there. Like, Kurogiri is pretty important, Muscular is pretty damn important, man, even Twice can make it. And usually in this kind of situation, you're going to judge by the gameplay who is more suited for the fighting game and has more interesting mechanics, but we're having Earphone Jack and Toga on the roster, meaning that popularity matters more than the actual gameplay possibility, means that we have to pick out somebody popular. I don't know, I looked at the polls, and the only popular character that hasn't made it yet on the roster is this Hitoshi dude who can control minds. If he makes it, then I expect Mount Lady's butt as a DLC, so no, I don't believe it. And man, now that I remember, we actually have Midnight's mask and Ashido's fur as gear accessories, but they're not in the game themselves, meaning that gear itself does not mean anything. So we're not having much to go with. Keeping that in mind, there is only one possible choice. It's fucking Mineta.